Okay, so you're going to have to play smart here. I do feel that for a lot of you too, there is a situation where definitely disputes are coming through. Okay, we're not going to be able to deny this because this indicates to me disputes, and there are 3 people involved in the spread. So I'm going to say it is definitely relationship oriented. Okay, I do feel there might be children involved for a lot of you. So the dispute might be, regarding a breakup of a home situation, like legal disputes. And you both, the thing is, I'm sensing that you both are trying to, obviously, we want the best for the kids. But I do feel that this isn't a situation where people are trying to pawn off the kids on the other parent. This is a situation where both partners want to keep the kids and they want what's best for the children, which is really very, very good. However, the battle that might be waged between the parents, that's a different story. But we're not going to go there. I just do feel that there is a legal situation, or possibly, you're trying to settle this situation outside of the court, and you're trying to, be your most civil, most cordial in dealing with an ex, and you might have, children entangled in the situation. So that's something I'm sensing up front. I do feel that, there is threat of getting like lawyers and advisors involved, but I do sense that it's not going to go through. Okay, like the lawyers, and they can be left out of the equation, because ultimately I do feel that both parties are going to get what they want, or at least you Virgos are going to get what you want. So I do feel that this is going to actually be a swift resolution, so you don't have to worry too much. Okay, I feel as well with this card, both parties mean well, or all the parties involved mean well. But it's just the way that, the energies play out. It can be a little bit problematic. You don't have to worry about it, because ultimately you yourself are very, very patient, and you're exercising your patience in dealing with this situation. So you are trying very, very hard to be at your most civil, at your most modest in terms of, asking for what is rightfully yours. But at the same time, in dealing with all these other energies, you are trying very, very hard to accommodate everyone, okay, once again. So I do feel that you're on the right track in this situation, and it would be best to let it resolve itself. I do feel, in terms of reaching a resolution, like I said, I do feel it is going to be swift, relatively. However, we also have the Hangman. So there is a period of suspension, like towards the 2nd and 3rd week, where there might not be communication, okay, where you don't really know how things stand. So you might feel a little bit destabilized, and then the situation itself will reach a resolution sometime by the end of this month, I'm sensing, because the 6 of Pentacles does indicate a financial payout, and it's also underneath the wish card. So I do feel whatever it is that you're hoping for, you are going to get your wishes fulfilled, and there's also going to be monetary compensation coming on the heels of that. Okay, so it looks very good. There is definitely a financial windfall in the works for you, but coming through like towards the end of this month, and possibly even the very beginning or the very first week of October. So you can at least count on that, okay? But once again, don't go out and splurge and things like that. I do feel as well on the work environment, you are taking it upon yourself to really expand your territory. I'm sensing with the Strength card. This, both of these cards indicate to me, this is an emperor in the making. An emperor expands his empire, right? So with the Strength card, this is a card of a warrior. He's not afraid of battle. He's not afraid to endure hardship and conflict in order to acquire things and land and people, okay? So back in the days, they also amassed people. It's not just property, it's physical people. So you're not afraid to expand yourself, or you're not afraid of conflict. You're not shying from conflict in order to achieve what you want. And in the process of acquiring land, people, wealth and riches, I do feel that you are showing other people around you that might be in a position to to challenge you in the future in the process of doing this. So you're taking more of a preemptive strike this time rather than waiting for your opponents to come through as you have done in the past, Virgos. I feel like you're taking a more preemptive strike, and you're going to this situation and you're telling them, I need to make the first strike. That way they know how powerful I am. And then they're not going to, come around in the future to bug me. So I feel like that's what you're doing in your new work environment. That's also what you're doing in your new relationships as well. So I do feel more of a proactive approach. Instead of, hiding behind the scenes and working behind the scenes, you're taking more of a center stage and you're taking more active control in your life, okay? So it's looking very good. And I do feel that these two cards alone indicate to me that there's a lot of work to be done this month, and I do feel that this is no easy task, but you have the willpower and the stamina to do it. And once you set your mind on something, I feel like once a Virgo has their mind set on like an end goal, they don't really fail. So I wouldn't and it's corroborated as well with this wish card. You're not going to fail. And also the financial payout as well. So in your conquest, you are going to be able to acquire quite a lot of wealth, quite a bit of wealth, and also the emotional fulfillment that you need with a job, as getting a job well done and completing a very difficult task that other people have shied away from. So good for you. I do feel that for those of you on the relationship front, things might be a little bit sticky though. So for those who are in committed relationship, I do feel that there is a period of compromise coming through, and whether or not you do that, it's still a little bit trying, okay? It's hard for you and your romantic partner to see eye to eye. And for those who are still in a committed but loving relationship, I feel, not when you're separated and on the verge of divorce, even though you're still together, that doesn't count. So for those who are still in like committed and loving relationships, I do sense that your partner, okay, so there might be a family planning issue coming through. So one party might want children, one party might want to escalate the relationship, take it to the next level. One party might have, you might have your career in order, or your partner might want to work on their career, and then you might want a family. So it can play both ways. But I do feel this is something that needs to be debated between the two of you. And I do feel that one party definitely, when it comes to children, whether or not to have them, there's always going to be a sacrifice, okay? So I do feel with the Hangman, there's also somebody sacrificing, or at least putting their career on the back burner in order to achieve more stability in the home, and especially in order to, it's basically like putting your life on hold. But I hate using that phrase because it sounds so negative. Children are a blessing. So I do feel that either way, a compromise is going to have to be reached. And unfortunately, one party is going to have to relent and let the other person win. So this can mean, sacrificing children to keep your partner happy, or sacrificing your job in order to make your partner happy. And it can come from your partner, or it can come from you. Okay, this doesn't always mean that you are the one sacrificing, because I do feel that you have a new drive, a new set of ambition coming through. You're really forging ahead with your career path. So I don't feel that you're the one making the sacrifices here. So it might be on your relationship partner, okay? So I do sense that coming through for a lot of you. And I also feel as well that things are looking very positive on the career front. At least you're gaining traction, you're gaining ground, you're defending your empire, you're building your empire, you're adding more wealth, more people to whatever it is, your team, to your household as well. And as a result, the possibilities are just basically endless, and it's looking very, very positive. For those of you who are in relationships, especially with a, okay, so I'm going to have to say this, and it needs to be said. So I do feel that for a lot of you who might be in a marriage situation, okay, I do feel that for those of you who are married with the Empress card, there might be some dissatisfaction in the relationship. You might be in a relationship already, and you might have, a Mr. or a Mrs. on the side, particularly a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, or an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. Okay, so those are the two options that I'm sensing here. For those of you in committed relationships, I do feel you or your partner, not all of you. If you're in an unhappy marriage situation, I do feel somebody is definitely stepping out. Okay, if you're in an unhappy relationship, you or your partner, I do sense there is like a water sign and an air sign in your midst. And it is corroborated once again by the Two of Swords, which indicates, balancing act, but also indecisiveness when it comes to who it is that you want to date, but also if you should stay in your current unhappy relationship or if you should step out of it altogether. Okay, so severing ties. And I do feel that your partner, especially if you're a male Virgo, I do feel if you're a Virgo and you're in a relationship with a person in a committed relationship and and you're not happy and the other person is not happy, I do feel that one or both parties can stray. Okay, I do sense that one or both parties can stray from the relationship because there is definitely a lack of emotional involvement here. So this is something that you really should decide whether or not you want to continue. Okay. For those of you who are involved with a water sign, this is Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. I do feel that this person can be a little bit wishy-washy. Okay, so he or she is showing up in the reverse position, and I do feel there is definitely emotional rapport, emotional investment. Okay, so you feel greatly tied to them. But I'm sensing here that they're really not sure where they want to steer the relationship. They're really not sure how they feel about you. They're really not sure if you're somebody that is long-term. And I do feel that they are looking for somebody long-term. In terms of the stability that you bring into the relationship, I do feel that you help ground them and you help provide them with for some reason, I'm sensing you provide them with a lot of financial abundance, okay? So I'm going to say that and leave that alone, and, hopefully you get the message, and I do feel most Virgos do. So if you are in a relationship where you feel like you're financing everything and it's not really fair, just reassess what it is that you want. And I know that, with relationships, money is just a very minor issue between both parties, but over time it can create imbalances, okay? Especially when one party feels like they have to give all the time and the other party feels entitled to receiving gifts, okay? This is something you want to re-examine. I also sense for a lot of you, you might involve with a fire sign too. The Strength card is a card of Leo, but it's also a fiery energy in general with the Five of Rods. So if you are involved with a fire sign, in particular a Leo, I do feel that this is one of those. This person is very, very attractive to you. They're also attracted to you. So I do feel there is great relationship potential. This is also somebody that you might have met in the previous months or even in August, and you're trying to establish a relationship. And I do feel as well that you and the Leo, you have the same goals in life. You basically want the same things, such as, whether or not to have a family. You're pretty much on the right page, but in terms of communication, it's a little bit difficult to get your point across, and they might be very passionate and very spirited. So I do sense that they might rush into things a little bit too prematurely, and as a result, you're not sure whether or not they are kind of marriage material, I would say, or if they're in it for the long haul, because you feel like they might burn out a little bit too fast. Okay, so you're still being cautious about the situation, but I do feel it's a good match. Okay, and for those of you involved with an air sign, I do feel there is a lot of communication, and there's also that very, very strong intellectual rapport in terms of family planning, in terms of having common life goals. I do feel that this person is very, very individualistic and also very independent. And I do sense that, so an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, but I do feel that there is definitely strong intellectual rapport. This person is also very undecided about you. They're not really sure how they feel about you. And I do sense that you have to You have to show your cards, okay? So in terms of romantic prospects, for those who are single and looking, I do feel fire sign and air signs look very promising. In terms of whether or not you want to, stay with the relationship that you're in, I do feel that if it's somebody that you haven't been happy with, you have to really re-examine this situation, okay? And I'm sensing for a lot of for some reason the page energy in this card, it looks more female. Maybe it could be because of the background, but it's in the center of this spread. So what it's telling me here is if you are involved with an air sign, be very careful with like unplanned pregnancies, okay? If you are somewhat involved with an air sign, just be careful about that coming through for you, or just from you to them. Just be very, very careful about pregnancy, because they're in the middle. These cards are in the middle, and they are just mirroring one another. So it's the Empress and the Page of Swords. I also feel for those who are involved with the Page of Swords, once again, I'm seeing this mirror image of one another. So I'm feeling as if, the page energy is somebody who is very young. It can be somebody who is biologically or just emotionally younger than you, but I do feel in this regards, it can be somebody who is biologically younger than you. They have to grow into themselves. I feel like they haven't grown completely into themselves yet. And given more time, I do feel that they are going to be the Empress, and they are going to help you rule your domain, or they're going to help you expand your domain. So this has a lot of potential. The fire sign has the courage to fight alongside you. The air sign has the strategy, or the strategic thinking skills and the critical thinking skills to help you acquire land, wealth, and people. Okay, so both of these relationship partners look very fruitful if you're thinking long term. If you're thinking short term, we also have the water sign in the mix, so that's something you might want to consider if it's just for short term. But in terms of like expanding your territory, expanding your networks, and if you are in a work situation where you have to pick somebody for your team, go with the fire sign, go with the air sign, because they're going to help you rule and control and regulate your domain. Okay, so it looks very favorable on the work front as well. So Virgos, a lot of new energies are coming through for you. You're going to have a lot of financial abundance and emotional fulfillment. Okay, so a lot of love relationship partners are coming through. I am sensing that for a lot of you Virgos, especially like men. I also feel it for females. There's a lot of attraction. There's a lot of like a little bit too much like attraction on the work front that might, I mean, it makes work exciting, but it's a little bit too jarring is what I'm sensing. A lot of tension, frustration on the work front, but in a good way. A lot of like flirtation too. So just be careful about that. And especially when it comes to like pregnancy, you want to really be careful about this, okay? I'm sensing as well that you don't have to worry about financial gains. There is one coming through. You don't have to worry about this being a very, busy month. I do feel that you are busy pretty much the first 2 weeks, and then after that you have a little bit of a quiet time to relax and wait and on things culminating or things coming to fruition, okay?